Two major pieces of breaking news here, both in the crucial swing state of Pennsylvania. First off, Democrats just flipped a Trump plus 15 state Senate district seat, wherein Democrat James Malone defeated Josh Parsons 50-49. The seat had previously been held by a Republican named Brian Tyler, who won the general election back in 2022 unopposed. That's how red of a district this is. He's retired to take a job in David McCormick's office, and now his seat went from safely red to newly blue. In fact, even Elon Musk amplified this specific race when he tweeted a response to Republican operative Scott Presler, warning that Republicans were on the verge of losing this seat. And yet still the amplification wasn't enough to stop the flip from taking place. Now, Republicans still control the state Senate, but the margin is shrinking. With this new pickup, the margin goes from 22-28 Republican control to 23-27 Republican control, meaning that in this upcoming election cycle, Democrats have the opportunity to flip the entire chamber by flipping just two more seats, because then it would be a 25-25 tie, and the lieutenant governor, a Democrat, Michael Stack, would serve as the tie-breaking vote. Which brings us to the second piece of breaking news here, and that has to do with the other chamber in the Pennsylvania legislature. Prior to tonight, the state house was tied 101-101, but voters in Pennsylvania's 35th state house district just elected a Democrat to the seat, meaning Democrats take the majority in the chamber 102-101. Pennsylvania is only one of three states, along with Michigan and Minnesota, that have split legislative control. Tonight's results bring the Democrats just a little bit closer to closing that gap and getting Democrats into a position where they can retake control of the entire legislature in November of 2026. And while it's certainly important to celebrate wins like this one, we cannot get complacent and we have to keep putting in the work. And we do have a crucial race coming up just days from now. Everybody watching this video needs to know about what's happening in Wisconsin on April 1st. There is a state Supreme Court race wherein Susan Crawford is going up against diehard Trump sycophant Brad Schimmel. And of course, you'll be unsurprised to hear what's propping up Schimmel's chances in Wisconsin, and that is, you guessed it, Elon Musk. I spoke to Susan Crawford about that. Here's what she had to say.
So Musk's PACs have spent over $5 million now on the race on mostly attack ads against me, these kind of ugly false attack ads. The first of which, one of the ads had a picture of a different Susan Crawford, not me. So he doesn't really know who he's spending money against yet. Print ads. He's paying canvassers to go door to door in Wisconsin. So kind of an all-out assault, and trying to buy himself a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
And look, there are dire implications for our democracy in this race. First and foremost, this is a test case for Elon Musk. He's already seen how his money bought him the presidency. Now he is deploying the same strategy in the states. And if he's successful in Wisconsin, you better believe that he's going to spend money in every single race across America. This isn't just about Wisconsin. It is about whether or not we want to live in a country where one billionaire can quite literally buy the entire United States government. Regardless of political party, whether you're left, right, or center, I cannot imagine you think that ceding control of our democratic process to the richest man in the world is a good idea. And so if he's rebuked in this race in Wisconsin, that's going to send a clear as day message that no matter how much money you have, you will not be able to purchase our democracy. But we've got one chance to send that message before he learns that he can spend his money everywhere. And that chance is right now. There's also the fact that Elon views this as his way to derive some personal financial benefit for himself, very much like he was able to do by gutting the federal agencies that regulate his companies. This is what he's trying to do in Wisconsin.
Elon Musk's company Tesla has a case that's working its way through the court system in Wisconsin. One that, so there's maybe a financial stake in this for Elon Musk.
And of course, that's to say nothing of this race's implication for Wisconsin's brand new fair maps, of which every other issue is downstream. If you want abortion to remain legal in Wisconsin, that relies on those fair maps staying in place. Because once gerrymandered maps are reinstituted by the Republicans, then they will not only ensure that they never lose power again, but they'll pass laws as draconian as the ones that they have before, including re-implementing their 1849 abortion ban. And let's be clear, Republicans understand how much is at stake. That's why Elon Musk has begun offering $100 payments for voters who sign anti-Susan Crawford petitions. And their influencers are now spreading lies as well. Here, for example, is one of those lies that I exposed earlier this week. You want some clear as day proof that a Republican activist just got caught lying online? Here's a tweet by Republican activist Scott Presler, who goes by The Persistence. He wrote, "Caught on camera, a Susan Crawford supporter was caught on a Ring doorbell, smoking, cursing, and looking for a deceased voter in Wisconsin. She said, 'Is she voting for the nice lady or the devil?' Is this really the best Democrats have to offer? I hope this goes viral. Well, I hope this goes viral too, because what you didn't take into account is that this wasn't a Democratic door knocker, it was a Republican door knocker. And the way you know that is by looking at the papers that she was holding. This right here is a screenshot of the materials that she was handing out. Look familiar? And if you look here, this is a clearer version of exactly the same document. It is a pro-Trump flyer. If you look at the back, which you can see here in the video, well, a closer iteration of this shows clear as day that this is anti-Susan Crawford material. So either this Democratic door knocker was handing out anti-Susan Crawford material, or Scott Presler and Republicans just got caught lying yet again. Take all the time you need with that one. And in the meantime, make sure to vote for Susan Crawford if you live in Wisconsin or know someone who lives in Wisconsin on April 1st for the Supreme Court election. And that's not the only lie that Republicans have been telling. Here again is Susan Crawford exposing some herself.
These ads are just they're so patently full of lies, and we know more is coming. They have, they're doing the kind of attacks that I think we saw during the fall presidential campaign, where they are putting out digital ads that actually say I've taken positions that I've never taken before, that I am running to push a far left agenda, which I'm not, and just try to generally make me appear more far to the left than I actually am.
Right.
So we're seeing that, and then we're also seeing these attacks that distort and misrepresent decisions that I've made as a judge, mostly on criminal cases. They have two favorites that they talk about: cases where I sent people to prison for several years and have on strict supervision through our State Department of Corrections even today. So they are trying to scare people and also trying to lie to people and misrepresent who I am.
So while what happened in Pennsylvania tonight is objectively good news, there's still so much more work to do to fix what went wrong in this past election cycle. The good news is that Democrats are fired up, paying attention, and at least so far, voting. And look, I understand that with all the shit going on in politics right now, it might be difficult to find the energy to stay engaged, but that has to be our first, second, and third priority. The only way that we prevent Republicans from acting in a way that is completely off the rails is by showing them that we are ready to hold them accountable. If you think that Republicans didn't see what happened tonight in Pennsylvania, you are kidding yourself. They see it. And of course, that's to say nothing of the fact that aside from just tempering the worst impulses of the GOP, it's also how we set the stage to win back power in 2026 and beyond. Remember, we were in an almost identical situation back in 2017, watching Republicans exercise full control of government while Democrats were in the minority in the House, the Senate, and the White House. And yet by 2018, after that midterm election cycle, Democrats had retaken the House by the biggest margin in modern American history. We can get there again, and we will get there again, but it requires us being fully bought in, that we're not going to tune out, that we're going to stay activated and engaged and ready to fight every single day. Today was a success. Let's make April 1st an even bigger one. Tell your friends, your family, your colleagues, anyone with any connection to Wisconsin to make sure they have a plan to vote. We cannot let the Republicans win. Let's make sure they don't. Before you go, first, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we're now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they're willing to cater to this White House. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a great way for me to be able to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's completely free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support my work. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.